Should we
Greetings and
restart?
hallucinations to all you folks out there. I am joined once again by a co-host, the ever-present Morax, king of the team games. We're going to cast this 1 versus 1 on Canis Rivers.
Well, thank you a whole bunch there, Brinkovitz, and we got a wonderful matchup here between the North and South. Always red versus blue on your beautiful 1v1s. We got Shep here in the bottom corner going for your standard build, and we also got Pomposh here, who was trying to spell pom-pom but lost it terribly and got me with a creative name, so we'll see what they can do.
Well, I mean, the Cyberns don't really need cheerleaders anyway. Everybody's already on their side, the freedom fighters and all that, so...
Absolutely, exactly.
I don't see any
So
air.
it looks like... I don't see any air. I see a lot of walking right here, though. The Walk of Shames is just all over Shep's name right now. We don't know if we have the distance build capability over here by Pomposh. It looks like he's doing pretty good.
Yeah, he's
Got a lot of power spanned up for Shep, though. Look at this. We got a whole line of them going right between the hills.
Holy cow.
Right between the butt crack hills.
And he's not even going second air. That is so strange.
He like straight to the point. Straight to it.
Yeah. My goodness. Got a little aggression, though. Got 2... hunters. Yeah, those are hunters, and then Shep decided to go for the big guns and pulled out a mantis.
You gotta love this one. Right around telling you our pom-pom here is actually doing a much better job just going for the Hydra with a couple engineers and keeping the commander at bay building up while he has reclaim going right there. Shep here decided to do the Hydra rush right there. It doesn't really work on this map because of the distance you gotta go.
Yeah, look at all of the manual reclaim for Pomposh. He's going like, oh, he was. He changed it to an attack move order. That's such a shame.
Right
he
there.
had like 98.5 manual reclaim orders down that stream bed.
It's not too bad of an idea to use your attack move on an engineer for large fields and games like that, but on a place like this, usually what I like to do is go straight for the big rocks. If you calculate it out and look at the mass, each big rock along the river is about worth 1 factory apiece right there, so it's really important to actually get an engineer to fall along that river before your opponents does.
Yeah, and this, you were commenting on the length that you have to go to get that first Hydra. Pomposh is looking worlds ahead in Eco right now, because Shep stored up all that mass trying to get his Hydro online, and now he's having power issues and can't spend all of his mass. Pomposh is just way, way ahead on this. He's got his air
Looks like
factory
he's about
up
to
too.
start. I'm not so sure. It looks like he's about to start mass stalling.
Yeah,
Oh,
he did
he's got it
finally
right
get
there.
an air factory up. Shep took preventative measures, though. He does have a mobile AA at the bottom, but we all know Cybern mobile AA sucks, so it's not really that big of a hindrance.
The T1 mobile Cybern AA?
Yes.
Oh, that stuff is great. I don't know what you're talking about. That's one of the best ones out there. The homing missiles right there, guaranteed hits.
I've always experienced a lot of overkill with it. It seems like when you get a group of air, the Cybern is not as efficient. Single targets, yeah, by all means, but...
There's one great thing it can do, though, is if you're quick enough with the fingers with the APM, you can actually switch them over to manual ground fire, and they do help a little bit right there. They're not a complete pushover, and I've done some pretty good wards off with against labs and things like that, the sword in the very beginning right there, in case you have a bomber come at you and then a lab tries, right, and you can take out units pretty good with them. About as fragile as an engineer, but you're going to get some labs down with them right there if you lose out on that.
Yeah, strange thing. They actually have more ground damage than they do have air damage. They have 16 air and 20 ground damage. Inaccurate is all hell, though. I did that tutorial that I did the other day. You can shoot it at the broadside of a factory, and it actually misses sometimes.
I'm looking at one thing here just to point out that Shep did, and it looks like he built a radar right in his home base, and that's not exactly ideal. Usually what you want to do is you kind of want to sneak them off to the side areas right there. Like if you look off to the right side of the expansion max, you can see that, oh, it looks like we got some action going on here.
Yeah. Trying to get
Nothing too much.
He's trying to secure this expansion on the left side. He has an engineer trailing that Mantis and Scout. Not really
Usually
seeing
at this
any good
point,
micro, though.
Pomposh is upgrading his commander. Looks like he's going for an early gun or something like that. I would think that at least right there. Not quite enough eco to really utilize a T2 comm quite yet.
Yeah, Shep is going to take this right expand. Or not Shep. Pomposh is going to take it away from Shep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the range on this T1 radar here, and it's doing exactly nothing useful.
Exactly. Yeah. Always build your radars a little forward. I usually like to sneak them off the side mountains right there. A lot of people build their radars like right in expansions, and I don't get why. You don't need to. They have pretty good range. You can build them behind mountains and things like that. Kind of like the one that he has.
Look at
just
that
a little
hit
too
for
north.
that bomber. Killed an air scout and took over half the health off of 4 mantises down here.
That's definitely one thing you gotta watch out for. They don't get killed like one hit by a with an Aurora getting struck by bombers right there, but they definitely take damage and it'll hurt you.
Got a point defense standing alone without wall coverage, and then a fake radar spoof point defense to the left of it, down on the bottom left corner. So what actually needs a protection is not protected, and then he wasted all those wall sections over there.
He built no walls around the point defense, but he built the fake one. Lucky for him, it's going to take a little bit more than 4 Mantis to take that guy out right there. He does send a T1 Artie down right there, but it's just going to walk into a bunch of Mantis right there and get completely denied.
Yeah, I
love
how
put
this
a little front of Mantis in front of your mobile Medusa so that they can actually hit something.
Yeah, I love how this Mantis in the top right here has been sitting here for quite literally 3.5 minutes, and he finally decided to go kill that Tech 1 Mex.
Yeah, I was showing a lack of coordination effort right here. He hasn't been moving those Mantis. He has enough to steamroll over his expansion going to his base. Now, the ideal thing that we're going to see here is that Shep is going to have to start running his commander down south. And with all the forces I'm seeing located for Shep right now, he could move them up right there and walk right into his base, because Pomposh has not had the ability to build up his factories and send his forces to attack yet because he was busy getting the gun.
Yeah. Although, I think Pomposh is about to outproduce him. It looks like they've got a fairly even number of units on the front there. And Shep is way overproducing anti-air, which is a huge problem. He's got 9 anti-airs and, let's see, 22. He's got 1 to 2 anti-air to Mantis in that bottom corner.
He's got the nervous twitch anti-air.
Yep.
Sometimes people do that. They get scared of one bomber and they start pumping up mobile anti-air and forget to stop it and get back to normal units right there. There hasn't been a single air unit that's flown overhead.
He's going to try and rush that gun upgrade with Pomposh closing in on him.
Absolutely not. He has enough forces there. I don't think that gun comm alone can really take him out. I would just start putting my commander in front and just...
He's trying to build a point defense behind, too. It's just...
He's going to let himself get overcharged.
He's minus 35 mass right now, trying to overreact to this situation, and it's ended up screwing him.
Sending everything back now.
Pomposh is only minus 10, and he's picking up a little bit of reclaim here and there. He's just slowly building one factory at a time and turning
Pomposh is about 7 kills away from getting a veterancy right there. 6 now. It's going to give him a really big leap. He needs to keep going for that. If he just went there and killed some of those mobile anti-airs and some of these engineers, they would have been done now and had a good, nice 2,000 health boost. At least I think it's 2,000 for the Cyber Commander. It's pretty close.
Got Tech 2 land online in the north. He's getting a Tech 2 engineer out first.
It's a smart thing to do. He's been able to sit back, get his eco, and he's going to start rolling out rhinos. He's going to deal with all that.
Is that a mobile flak? Or is that a rhino? I can't tell inside the factory. No, that's a rhino. Never mind.
Yeah, it's a rhino. I don't think... It used to be hoplites before when the rhino was a little nerfed now, but I usually just build rhinos myself now to stealth to get along with it. It's been a while since I've seen anybody use hoplites or Wagners for that kind of purpose. Sometimes I use Wagners in case there's terrain issues and the alpha damage can be nice.
I can actually see Wagners being handy because you could run them up the left side here and take a dip through the creek and pop up right in his base behind all of his defenses. But at the moment, this is not looking good for
Pomposh
Shep.
is totally going to give this game away if he doesn't move his commander out of there. There's no reason for him to be this aggressive right now if he has the T2 land advantage. He's just going to feed a bunch of mass right into Shep's thing and probably throw this game to him right there.
Yep.
This is the invincible feeling of a gun right
kill,
there.
Though. He really wants that ACU on A. Oh, here comes the Mantis. Don't get swarmed.
There's the veterancy.
Alright. Still, though, he has no units to back him up.
Of course he does. I think Shep, with how little units that Pomposh has here, that if he just keeps pursuing, he has enough health to end this game right now and survive it.
We're down to 17 on
He's got 1,000 more
ACU.
health in him. He could take him down right here and survive the explosion.
And he's just going to let him walk away, and he's going to run to the right and left with his units. Pomposh may actually be able to pick up another vet here. If he can skirt those Mantis well enough, he's only got 9 kills to a vet. That's easy to get.
He needs to get his commander the hell out of there, and he's going to walk right into Shep's commander again if he doesn't watch it. But Shep is not pursuing for some odd reason.
I think
Does he have an E-storage somewhere?
Was a better target. Maybe he didn't have...
he does have an E-storage.
He does not have the guy scouted, and I think he was trying to cut off the ACU and misguess the direction he was headed.
Oof. Rough overcharge misuse.
Yeah. Did he overcharge a Mantis instead of a... Oh, not good. Those Rhinos just pack so much damage into an area. They cost so much. I mean, they have worse DPS per mass than some other units, but they just cost so much. They concentrate everything in that little tiny area, and you forget, you know, you can survive 3 pillars, no problem, but 3 Rhinos just has a huge amount of damage per second.
They're pretty damn good at taking out T1 units and getting veterancy.
Yeah.
I believe the Ilshava is obviously going to be better than them, but unfortunately they cost quite a bit more.
Rhinos and Wagners have a weird relationship because, you know, like most of the other ones, the amphibious tank is far, far, far weaker than the normal tank. But with the Wagner actually has more damage per mass than the Rhino does. It just has less health. So if you can use,
I think we're seeing another upgrade. It looks like I'm gonna guess it's stealth on Shep right now, which isn't really the greatest idea right now.
Pomposh picked up 2 more.
Yeah, he has stealth. Thing about Stealthcom right now is that he's going to walk into those Rhinos and he has to have a lot of overcharges queued up. Let's see. 2 Rhinos, so he could survive that. He could do some damage there.
Yeah. He is overflowing power by a significant margin, so he shouldn't have any problem.
He needs to go to T2.
He's plus 269 on power. Shep is, even though he only has Tech 1 P-Gens. About to get a Tech 2 P-Gen for Pomposh. Shep is doing a lot better on his map control, though. He's got a lot more eco in the bag.
Pomposh had T2 Rhino tanks on the left side just guarding his bridge, and he felt scared of pursuing right there because maybe he had the intel saying that, hey, I shouldn't pursue with those units in case he tries to raid my base while I'm using the gun comm right there.
Yeah.
So one of those things you see in earlier players right there is they get arrogant with the gun. It's a big thing. I do it sometimes too. Sometimes I feel invincible with the gun, and you can get on a really good rage going with something like that.
Yeah, I was about to say...
There's the adrenaline rush of your commander being extremely powerful, and you tend to forget things like that. And that's one of the differences between one of the good players and bad players, is knowing how much damage to do, get the reclaim, usually move out and tech up and ahead.
Yeah, arrogant with the gun. And the other thing that I notice a lot in the lower rank games as opposed to like the 1600 and up is how much less aggressive they are. Like, there's probably a dozen different opportunities that I've seen here that have been passed up for running around the outside edge, killing off mass extractors, little jabs and pokes in the center. And, you know, even like, there's been a good amount of bomber harassment by Pomposh. I actually like his T1 bomber use. Just like run in and hit 5 or 6 tanks at a time. But I haven't seen any of that from Shep. Sniping radar is a huge thing, and then, you know, any time you can deal a little bit of damage. Oh, Pomposh should not be walking.
Hopefully Shep knows how to bump into the commander and stop him from moving, because he's just going to keep going. Those Rhinos meet up with that commander, it's game over. Shep needs to start going due south and beeline right back to his base. He hasn't attempted to get... Oh, he does have T2. I missed that.
All right, we've got...
Getting a T2 engineer first when there's units pursuing. Not so sure I agree with this.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there. T2... There it is. T2 engineer right there. First unit out. And that was 4 Rhinos. Yes, it is 4 Rhinos. And pulling back...
Oh boy, here we go. He had an opportunity to use a great overcharge to take out all of his Rhinos at the same time.
Yeah. Got to keep those higher tech units spread out when you got a gun comm. That is absolutely vital. Although it is a good feeling when you get that lucky overcharge, you know, kill 4 Harbingers at once or something. It's like, haha, in your face. I will burn 10,000 mass for you.
Really needs to block this commander here so his can get back. He's extremely low on health now. Oh, he's pulling back.
1,600 health. That was very close. And now Pomposh is going to be in the opposite situation. He's got all of these Mantis coming down on him. You need to get in the water. No!
120 kills on this guy. He needs to. He could just send all of his units in right now. I don't know what he's doing.
Don't end it like
unit
this.
pathing.
That's
not his fault.
Huge pathfinding issue down there. Holy cow! There's the vet. My goodness, both of them got down below 1,500 there for a minute. That is 5th vet though. Pomposh isn't going to get saved by that again. Needs to be really careful. Shep is going to go into the water. What little water there is. Actually, that's less than knee deep. That's funny. I guess the...
Shep is making a major mistake here by putting his commander there.
Yeah. I guess the water on the team version of this map is a lot deeper.
Absolutely, yeah. You can't hide your commander in here. You can run away from units if you're playing against someone that doesn't have floating, but other than that, you can get pursued pretty well.
Yeah.
Got a tactical missile launcher for Shep right now. I don't know if there's TMD for Pomposh, which there is not, so if Pomposh doesn't get a clue and start... Oh, he started building TMD. He saw... I don't know if he saw it with the scout or something, but if that missile gets done first and he starts sniping that power and some other things, you can see major problems.
Yeah. He does have a shield over his power, though. That is one thing that he does have going for him. But this is a Cybern TAC, so he's going to need multiple TMD to stop the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't it take 2 TMD with a missile going over the top of it to completely stop it?
It certainly does. It's very, very difficult. If you ever get in a bind, a lot of people tell me that Cybern's not a good pushing race, but I disagree. If you get a big group of Vipers, and I've used it against UNT in games before, it can get really nasty watching all those Viper fires going after you.
Yeah, it's building
Shep
TMD
has total
versus
air
mobile
control.
Yeah, and
but
he's still
letting
losing
himself
all
get
these
bombed
units.
and losing. Yeah, it's just blowing my mind right now. He needs to send something up there and see what's going on with this.
That was what, about 6 tanks?
If he built 3, maybe 4 jesters right now, I don't think he would stand a chance in hell and let his commander get out there.
I understand
This is
going
bad.
after reclaim, but I don't understand why
Bad
Pomposh is
pursuit.
overextending.
8,000 to 10,000. T2 versus T1.
Oh, this is going to get messy here.
Got a sizable force of coming at the flank right here from Pomposh that I think is going to hurt him really bad. He doesn't have enough defenses on this side. Pomposh is going to start pursuing because he knows he's going to make this push, and oh, never mind, he's pulling the forces away. He's scared.
Run, little Mantis, run!
Don't know if there's any rhinos in the mix yet for Shep. Looks like there is. I see one. It's not going to help out.
Yeah, on the front lines, it's only Mantis.
There's about...
And that's versus a group with about
7 rhinos
4...
there right now. Getting
that many? 1,
overwhelmed
2, 3,
by
4,
Mantis,
5.
but they should start taking them out.
Yeah, there's 6 of them.
Oh, there's going to be a tie here. Boom. Game's done. They're giving up.
Oh, don't mutual. No one wants a nuclear hug. If you just back off, one of you could win this game, but nope. They're bound and determined to take each other out.
This blows my mind.
Such a sad move.
1200 1v1 rating, someone should know they shouldn't overextend their comm at that point. 20 minutes into a game, you really got to pull back and just let your units take over.
I agree with Pomposh. Wow. Why would you do such a thing? I mean, either player could have pulled a win out of that and just...
You look in here, he has the TMD, T2 power, and he's also got 4 T2 mexes versus, I can't see quite through the explosion, but it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4... Nope. Shep ended up winning with more. I think he used like reclaim and pulled ahead in eco through the end right there.
Yeah. I don't know what... Pomposh was trying to retreat. He was genuinely trying to get away. Shep is the one that pulled the brainless move and tried to pursue.
One of those efforts right there. I'll tell you right now, my biggest problem in advancing in the 1v1 ladder is knowing when to send in damage right there and when to not attack. Badlands, I'm terrible at the map. People who are much lower rated than me beat at me because I continue to attack and harass, but it's one of those maps where you're going to get into a gridlock and you need to race to eco and get some big boy toys out like Galactic Colossi and Monkey Lords to win the game. When you're ahead in tech right there, don't use your commander aggressive after probably the 10 to 15 minute mark unless you got something like double nano, which is just nuts in 1v1. I've barely ever seen that, but it can happen.
Yeah, this is a different story though, because I mean, smaller map, 1 versus 1. It's not as likely to get up into the late tech 2, tech 3 stage. Alrighty, that is gonna wrap it up for this cast. Thank you very much, Morax. That was a good one, and hopefully next time we can get our cadences in line. A lot of good commentary on that one.
Take care.
All right, man. See ya.